Hi everyone, it's Sam from SiteMate. In this video, we're going to be looking at how we can use the SiteMate Links feature in Dashpivot for remote toolbox talks. That is, toolbox talks which have some predetermined briefing information which needs to be distributed to and acknowledged by all of your workers, maybe at your company or who are working on a particular project. And we want to submit a record of that acknowledgement into Dashpivot, but without each of those workers needing a Dashpivot account. So the way that this will work is that each of the workers will actually use the SiteMate app to submit an acknowledgement of that remote toolbox talk into your Dashpivot account without needing a Dashpivot login. So you'll see how all of this works in just a moment. Here we are in Dashpivot. I guess the first thing to note specifically about remote toolbox talks is that because all of the content is different to a regular toolbox talk where you have a discussion topic and then you have some discussion amongst your team, a remote toolbox talk is really designed to communicate some information to everyone and collect an acknowledgement of that information. So it's more like a briefing type document that needs to go out to everybody. So in that case, all of the information that's in our remote toolbox talk needs to be pre-filled into the template. So in this case, we're in our home folder and we're in our template library where our remote toolbox talk is set up. And I'm just going to select it and click edit just to show you specifically what I mean. So you can see here we have all of our information contained within what we call pre-filled text fields. So these are text fields that have been dragged in and then set to be pre-filled, and that's where we can then type in all of the information like what you see here. So you can see there's some briefing information here that this one actually relates to working at heights and the risks associated with falls. So you might be distributing something like this if there was an incident on one of your sites or at another company or something like that. So the key thing is to make sure that it's pre-filled text and that you actually enter in all of the discussion points into the template before you create your link and send that out to each person. Cool, so just wanted to show you that. In this case, our one is actually already set up and good to go. So now what we need to do is go to the relevant folder where we want all of those records to be submitted. So in this case, we actually want to go to this head office folder, and we're going to go to the template section, and you can see we've deployed our remote toolbox talk into this folder. So it's sitting here and it's good to go. All that we need to do is head to the links tab and create our SiteMate link. Now there's two types of links, there's single and there's ongoing. In this case, we're going to set it up as a single submission because we only need someone to acknowledge this toolbox talk once. And it just turns out that that's actually free. So all of the workers can download and use the SiteMate app for free and actually submit that remote toolbox talk for free if we set it up as a single submission SiteMate link, which is basically this section here. So we're going to click create link, and we're going to give our link a name. I'm just going to call it remote toolbox talk, and select our remote toolbox template and click this button here to generate the link for that template. So you can see here it's been successfully created, and we have two options for distributing this. The first option is probably going to be most suitable for this particular use case, which is we're going to copy that link and we're going to send that either via email or a SMS or text message to all of the relevant people. When they click on that link, they'll be able to fill out or read through the toolbox, add maybe some comments or something like that, sign it off and submit that record of that acknowledgement back into Dashpivot. But all of the submission comes from the SiteMate app. So we'll take a look at that in just a sec. The other option is to download a QR code poster. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. What's useful about this is that you could print out a dozen of these posters, put them up on all of your sites. And what it means is that when someone scans the QR code on that poster, it acts as if it's the same as if they had just clicked on that link. So this is more useful when you don't know exactly who all the people are going to be who need to submit an acknowledgement of this Toolbox talk. And so I've got one here that I've already printed out, which we'll take a look at in just a sec. But just to show you, it's got your logo up the top, it's got the name of the link, it's got a big QR code that's really easy to read, and then it's got some instructions actually built into the poster. So whoever's reading this poster can just sort of follow along. There's only a few steps there to actually start submitting that Toolbox talk back into Dashpivot. Cool, so just wanted to show you that. Now, if we go back to Dashpivot, from here, all we need to do is click Done. You can see our link has been created. We can copy the link from here as well, and we've got the other options to download the poster, or we can edit this link. We can archive it as well. So let's say we've collected all the acknowledgements, we don't need this link anymore. We would archive it, and it means that if someone scans the QR code on that poster, it's not going to work anymore. Cool, but we've basically created that. So let's switch over and take a look at what it looks like from the worker's perspective. So what they'll do is they'll open up their phone, and if they receive the link, they just click on the link. But if they were on a site and you had a QR code stuck on the wall, what they would do is click on their device camera, get the poster, scan the poster. You can see it's opening up that link up the top for us. So we're just going to tap on that. And then it opens up the browser. From here, all that we have to do is copy that link. We're going to need that when we open up the SiteMate app. And we need to also install the SiteMate app. So for me, I've actually already got it installed. So all I need to do is click Open. And we need to go to the Forms section. So we go in there, click Add Forms. And then that link that we copied 30 seconds ago, we're just going to paste that in here and click the Submit button. So from here, it's added in that remote toolbox up the top for us. So if we need to now go ahead and fill that out, you can see it's a single submission. So as soon as we fill it out and submit it, it's going to disappear from our app. So just important to note that. So let's click on it. You can see it's got all of the content here. So I'm not filling out anything because it's all pre-filled content. So you can see all of the information here. There is a section here where I can add some comments if I want, but in this case, I'm just going to click Sign to acknowledge all of the information and click the Submit button up the top. And what it does is it takes us to the Activity tab inside the SiteMate app. You can see it's got the Toolbox talk up the top, so that's the most recent thing that we've done, and it says that it's been submitted. So that's great, and if we head back to the Forms tab, you can see it's disappeared because we've submitted the acknowledgement. So if we head back into Dashpivot, if we go in here and go to Remote Toolbox, here we are. Here's the record that we submitted a minute ago. So we can open that up. We can see all the information, all the briefing, everything, and it's got our signature, time of date, name, all that stuff down the bottom. So that's really neat. So we can close that, and all of your acknowledgements will end up in here. All of the Toolbox talks will end up in here. So if you wanted to switch over to the register view, you might have 100 of these acknowledgements, and you can filter by person, you can filter by date, so you can find all of your records really easily. It is nice and neatly managed inside of Dashpivot. So that's pretty much it. That wraps up this video. If you get stuck with anything, feel free to reach out to our team via the live chat on the Dashpivot website. We also have some other video tutorials on our tutorials page covering other features inside of Dashpivot, as well as other use cases for the SiteMate Links feature, such as Take Fives, site check-ins, inductions, timesheets, things like that. So feel free to give those a look. And that wraps up this video. So thanks for watching.